Good morning from Junk Room Central, and it's weigh-in day. Good news to start the year off. 1 pound even, lost 1 pound even. And since I don't wait until 8 o'clock anymore, I just go ahead and get on it and get it done. So if it changes during the day, it just changes. So we starting out with one pound. I was shocked because even though I said last Thursday after Christmas was going to be reset, it was a half reset. Like, I do good in the mornings, lunch, I'm doing great. I'm eating, good breakfast. I've been eating my salads and my salmon patties. I think I missed one day because I had some chicken left over after all my salad, so I missed that. I've been picking on my Jell-O fluff and my pudding, so that's helped. Some of the snacking, and this time it's not been as much snacking. Well, I've got into, some of David's chips and stuff like that, but when he goes to work and I'm sitting in here by myself, the kids, they never come out of their room. It's just like they're ghosts. They come out to get food and right back they go. They just sit in there and watch movies, whatever. Well, they're adults, but they're still my kids. So they're like, Bigfoot. You just get a sighting every now and then. So I sit in here, and it's night, and I get bored because I'm tired of sleeping. There's nothing to do. Sit there and watch TV. I start looking for something to eat. It's hard for me to fight it. I'm having a trouble fighting it. But I'm going to kick 2020 in the teeth. I'm not going to kick it in the butt because I want it to see me coming. You hear what I'm saying? Straight in the face, straight in the teeth. I don't have a choice. Y'all know I don't have a choice. So we got to band together and get this thing done. Now, yesterday, I specifically was not eating healthy because we have a tradition in this house on New Year's Day. We have hog jows, collard greens, black-eyed peas, rice, and cornbread. And that is our New Year's traditional supper. And I told my girls, I said, this old gal is not, denying her Southern tradition. I just can't do it. Life is short for some things. And the thing about the collards and the peas, that's supposed to represent your money. That's supposed to help you get money, right? Well, it ain't worked yet, but I'm not going to tempt it. Well, it's already working backwards this year. It is the second day of the year, and it's the second home appliance we've had to replace. So yesterday, the computer printer, we had to get a new computer printer. Sometime overnight, I woke up at like 1:30 because I sat over there, on that blasted chair 24/7. And got up, went to the bathroom and run the water, and it wouldn't ever get cold. So I just let it keep running and running and running. It never would get hot. It stayed cold. So then I run the bathtub, thinking, well, let me hurry and get the volume through. Maybe it's extra cold outside, because and never would get hot, never would get hot. So sometime overnight, the hot water heater went out, and David don't know it because he's still in the bed. So I've got to wake him up because he goes back to work tonight. So he'll have to get on and get it done. So he'll have to, Lowe's, I think, they open up at 7. So he'll have to get on and get it done. Now he's got it up under the house. Because when we gutted this house back in 2009, we gutted it to the bare walls, just to the studs and the brick on the outside. Gutted the whole floor. He pulled up the, I can't even think what they're called now, the concrete pier things. They have a name and I can't think of it. Footings, the footings. He took all them up. It was just a round and a dirt floor. Because when Mama lived here, this old goat, that's what I call my neighbor. I don't care. He's an old goat. I lived here from 1971. My mama and her husband, my brother's daddy at that time, they had built this house. And so we moved here in 1971. So this is the only house that I lived in. I moved out when I got married. I was out when I went to college. And then we bought this house from Mama in 98. I told y'all that. But he's got a fence up there in his backyard, and the water, when it rained, it will pool up in the corner. And she tried to tell him, dig up under it so the water can, you know, drain as it rains. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. She said she went out there and she seen it pile just up. And then when it would come out, it would just like, however it worked, it would just like whoosh out and then flood up under her house, because our house is the lowest house on this street. We don't sit in a gully, but it's enough of an incline that all the water rushes to us. And the back of the house was like this, straight to the house. I don't know why they built it like that. Well, David, he wasn't having it. So when we started this house, he had a man come in and grate this whole yard down. The back is flat, and there's a big old retaining wall way up over my head. And he built him a garage. So like the corner back there, the garage is up in the, like the walls of the garage are the retaining wall, so to say, and then it comes around it. And then the yard is flat, so we don't have that flooding issues anymore. I want to tell y'all what this old goat has done. And I've contacted the city about it, and it's a civil suit. So we would have to pursue it civilly. This is how mean he is. And I was going to tell you, I babysat his children. When I was growing up, I babysat his children. And he treated my mama like a dog, and he's treated us like a dog. He snoops on us. He comes down here. He would try to tell our workers what to do. He's trespasses on our property. I could do a whole video on the stuff that man has done to us, and we have never done nothing to him. Even my husband said, and he's in bad health. He's like Andy Griffith said about, oh man, what's his face? You know what, the Christmas one, he's not going to die, he's going to nasty away. That old goat up there is going to nasty away for the way he treats me and my family. So he's got a, instead of, he could run a pipe from his yard out to the ditch in the front. He run it down straight, point directly at our side of the house, where it run up under there and did all the water damage, which is why we had to gut the house, because the whole back end of the house is falling in when we bought it. And Mama couldn't do nothing with it, and the house is too big for her anyway. When it rains, he's got that pipe coming out. The water, I mean, it gushes out like somebody turned on a big old hose, straight there in our yard. So for the time being, David went out there and set up some big old railroad ties to, you know, block it so it would kind of travel towards the front of the house. But that's the kind of stuff we deal with this old man up here. But what I was saying, David said, you know, if he ever treated us like something, him and his health, he said, I'd do anything in the world to help that man. He said, I'd do anything to help him. He said, but the way he treats us, he's not getting no help from me. So that's the kind of person I live. Beside of, if you got good neighbors, be thankful, because I ain't got none. And we're on the corner, so he's the only neighbor that's an actual neighbor. People across the street, them new houses they put in 2 years ago, which took away my woods. As soon as I got my porch, they took away my woods. So then I have to sit here and look at these houses. The house over in the corner is my Aunt Lindora's house, because all that land back in there was family, and there's only one family member that lives down in the, she lives down in the gully. She's the only family member still on family land. It's all gone. And then across beside me is the street, and then people across over there, they don't talk to you. They don't talk to you at all, because my daughter's ex-boyfriend used to work with her daddy at a tow company, and that parted not very well. They don't speak to us. People behind us, we're covered up by a fence, and I actually grew up with both of them at church, and then they got married. You know, they're older than me, but so I know them, and I speak to them if I see them, but they're so far behind us, they're not like neighbors, and I can't get up there. I can't just walk up the yard and see them. So we're just stuck down here by ourselves. We don't have nobody. We're pitiful. We're pitiful. Anyway, when he gutted this house, he didn't want that hot water heater up here, so he put it up under the house. He built him a concrete pad. I got pictures of Holly out there helping him mix up that concrete in the wheelbarrow, and she helped him haul it up under the house. She had a ball, and that was coming up on 11 years ago. She was, that make her 13? She fixing to be 25 in February. I can't believe it. My baby girl gonna be 25 years old. And my baby boy will be 34 years old. Where does the time go, y'all? Anyway, so she's out there. She helped him. And so it is right inside, you know, where you enter the crawl space. He built in that concrete pad. He got one of them little low boys. And that's what he's got out there. So now when they put the porch on, and it's a big porch. He let me have a big porch because he knows all I ever wanted on my house is a porch, because I love the rain and I like to sit out in the rain. When I was a kid, I'm going sidebar again. When I was a kid, there's this little old lady called Miss Murph, and she went to our church. And Mama, she worked, and a lot of her life was a single mom. After my daddy, she was single. Then after my brother's daddy, she was single. So she did it all. Well, Miss Murph kept me for a period of time while Mama worked. And I love Miss Murph. I wasn't like, I didn't hate on her or nothing, but I didn't like being there. And I would go out on her. She had a screen in front porch. And I remember as good as yesterday, when it would rain, I would head straight for that porch. And I would just stand there looking out that screen as a child, just taking in the peacefulness of that rain. I will take a rainy day over a sunny day any day. Now, probably if I lived somewhere where it rains all the time, I'd probably get sick of it. But it's supposed to rain today, and I'm so excited about it. Not that my yard's going to be muddy, because it is a mess. I hate that part. But the part about going out there and watching it and hearing it and smelling it, I'll take that deal all day long. I don't know if it'd be probably too cold to actually sit out there. I do have a big old house coat. About drags the ground. I look like the Grim Reaper. It's got a hood and everything. I swear to y'all, I look like the Grim Reaper. I get my coffee and put my thing on and go out on that porch. It's a sight. People are driving up and down the road probably think, what is that woman doing? But anyway, he got to crawl up on it. That's why I hate to tell him. He can't just replace it. He's got to crawl up through there. So when they built that porch, to make it long enough like it needed to be, we just had like a little stoop. A little concrete stoop, you know. And so the crawl space opening is right beside it. So to make the porch where it could be a porch, they had to build over that. So it's out a good ways, and they built in the side, they built the new opening, and then the footings that goes up under the porch, they had to keep them wide enough that he could get the hot water heater in and out. And they measured it to make sure he could, because I asked him about it. I said, are you sure you can get that out of there? He said, we measured. So, y'all keep your fingers crossed, because if I can't get a hot water heater up in there, they're going to have to redo a whole bunch of plumbing somewhere. I guess down here in the big room where it used to be, because that used to be the carport, so it used to sit down in there. But since we're going to eventually get it turned into a room, he didn't want it down there. He wanted it under the house. So he's going to have to crawl through there, drag it up through them concrete pillars, and up through that hole in the house. So he's got to go back to work tonight. They let him off last night, so he's got to go back to work tonight. So I'm going to have to go in there and wake him up. Lowe's opens up, I think, at 7. And so he's going to have to get on with it. I hate it for him, bless his heart. So yeah, 2 days in, replacing 2 things. That's what I was telling you. Them collard greens and them peas have not done their job. They have reversed. They have reversed their action. So I had my dinner. I did eat. If you don't know what a hog gel is, I'm going to try to pull up. I sent the girls a picture because they were talking about it on live. That do a cook with me on the hog gel. So I'm not going to cook them, but I did show them pictures. So I'll stick in some pictures and let you see what a hog gel looks like. It is a cross between a fatback and a bacon. That, to me, that's what it is. And if you've never tasted it, it's hard to describe. As those foodies on the TV would say, the unctuousness of the flavor. They are delicious. But I told them, I said, it is no wonder I have been fat for so long, because that's how we eat. We eat the hog gels regular, and not one baking pan. I started frying them when I first started making them, but it took so long and it was so messy. I finally just started putting them on a baking pan and popping them in the oven. best decision I ever made. So if you do eat hog jows, even bacon, put it on a baking sheet, stick it in the oven. You won't go back. But they're just pure fat with a little streak of meat on it. But they're delicious. And I ate them yesterday. I ate what I wanted, and I got it out of my system because I probably won't get them again until New Year's. They're not regular no more. But that's how we eat. That's just how we eat. And that's the cycle that I've been breaking. And trying to make the things that we like into something points friendly. I don't always like it. I ain't lying. I don't always like everything I cook for y'all, but I deal with it because I know I have to. So I don't know about y'all, but I hate eating. I hate eating food that I have to eat that I don't necessarily love. But I can't keep eating foods I love all the time. Yes, we have to have times where we have them, or we'll just give up. And life is too short not to have moments. And let's just face it, I don't care what you say, food is a part of life. Food is celebrations. Food is sad times and happy times, gets-togethers, traditions. Food is a part of life, and we can get around it. It's not like food is some little something, we just do on the side. Food is every day, all day. And I do believe food is meant to be enjoyed. Because I've said before, we have taste buds for a reason. I don't think they're there just so we can say if something is not edible, or there wouldn't be taste buds that make things taste good. That's how I think about it. I think the human body was designed that food tastes good. So yes, we enjoy it. There's an enjoyment to food, and breaking that cycle is tough. So that's what I got to do from here on out. I've just got to stop turning to the food. When I was making my plate last night, I made my plate with what I wanted on it, because I was, I was having my traditional meal, and I turned over and I told David, I said, I'm eating it, I'm going to enjoy it, because this is the official last day of the holidays. And they're like, yep, today it starts over. January 1st didn't start. January 2nd is going to start. So, anyway, 1 pound loss. Got to replace the hot water heater. David, oh my gosh. I feel sorry for him having to crawl up in there, because he ain't no young man no more. Now, when he was young, he did everything. He is rough as a cob. I have told y'all that before. He is rough as a cob. Everything he does is just, he empties my dishwasher for me. And then I have to go in there and I have to hunt stuff. I can't blame him, even though my stuff has been in the same place for a while. I'm one of these persons that every couple of months, and that is no exaggeration, I would rearrange my cabinets every couple of months without fail. I'm just, things get stagnant with me. And so the fact that I ain't been able to do much has driven me crazy. But I've got my kitchen kind of now, my cabinets organized where they work. So even though I get the desire to change them around, I really don't have a better way to do it, because pretty much everything's the way that it needs to be. That don't mean I won't turn around and do it again, but we was watching The Price is Right yesterday. There was nothing on TV. So one of the items they had to bid on down when they was down at the front was surfboards. And I walked past the TV, I was going in there to the kitchen, and I said, surfboards? Who needs a surfboard? David says, I'll take a surfboard. I'm like, would you get out there and surf? And he goes, in a minute. I said, at your age, would you get out there and surf? He said, well, if it wasn't for fear of breaking my bones, he said, I'd get back on my skateboard and do that too. He said, he was very active. He did the skateboard, and they used to break into, there was a skateboard park over in Charlotte. He was growing up in Charlotte, and I call him a city boy. He can't stand that. It makes him so mad, because he ain't city. Ain't nothing city about him. He not as country as me, but he country. And they used to break into the skateboard park over there, and his mom and daddy would take them, because they'd be over there doing them video camera. Because that was back in the, let's see, I guess the video cameras come out when? We had one when RJ was born. We bought it so we could videotape him being born. That sucker, I swear, that sucker was probably that big. Y'all remember them? Put them up on your shoulder. Oh my gosh. So he's got videos of him, you know, skateboarding. And he did water skiing tournaments, all that. He did all that. He rode the four-wheelers. He was just pure boy. And his mom and dad let him do anything he wanted. Anything, any kind of hobby he wanted, they hooked him up full force. He did it all the way. And they carried him anywhere. Anything he wanted to compete in, he done it. So he was always rough. And then he grew up around trucks. And you have to be rough around a truck. You can't be, I always tell him, I said, when I tell him to do something, I'll tell him, do it gingerly. He don't know what that word means, but that's what I tell him. Do it gingerly. He just looks at me like, yeah, that's going to happen. But he'll be over unloading that dishwasher, slinging them dishes, clanking them dishes together, putting them, and I'm just over in that chair thinking, okay, don't say nothing because he's helping you. But, oh, could you please make him stop doing that? Because I can't take it. So that's what I was saying. Him having to crawl up under there with his little bones. Because every time he gets up off that couch, without fail, his knees and his just creak and crack every single time he gets up. So he's not going to have fun crawling up in there, dragging that thing. So I don't even know what time it is, but I'm fixing to have to go get him up. Anyway, I run off more than I probably should have, but if somebody turned it off after they heard 1 pound, that's fine by me too. So that's all I'm going to say for today. Y'all have a good start of the new year, and I'll talk to you, well, I don't know, I'll talk to you soon.